Welcome. Now, last time we met up, we got the activation of the Emerald Tablet. And this is big because this message is with the new moon in Pisces, happened during the new moon in Pisces in part 3, which was a bonus message that we unlocked, because we're coming home to unconditional love. And we're coming home to unconditional love within ourselves, thus coming home to ourselves, coming home. And we know, as within, so without. That's the balance of this world. We can only meet people where we meet ourselves. So right now we're meeting ourselves with unconditional love, but we understand that this is expanding partnerships. And we came here to expand partnerships. Thus, we heal with our mission here. We heal with our story. We're healing with the whole story. It's just like we're going to cut out parts of this story, or because of, you can see it in these communities, Starseed twin flame community, especially the twin flame community. It's like there's this really big separation between twins, that are coming together, that are obsessed with coming together, that they just, they're having this experience. And then there's, this divide with other twins that, see it differently. I don't want to be a twin. I don't want this to be my story. This is a curse. This is, and you see it. And then of course, us that have felt it all. And I really feel like that's what we're really feeling it all. But what are we focusing on? And what we focus on grows. And that's where we're doing the work. We're doing the work to see what our patterns are. What are our patterns? And what are we focusing on? And what are we actually growing? And are we growing with life? And are we going with the flow of life? Are we going against life? And there's a destruction of life, a not honoring life here. There's a lack in respect. And that's really what this is about. This is about confidence and self-worth. And it's connected to our patterning and how we treat life and how we treat ourselves and how we treat each other. And we're healing all of this. We're healing codependency. And there's, this is also too those templates where you see where there's, relationships where they're so addicted and just, so have become so codependent upon each other that they're not there for others. We don't allow us to have other people in our life, and that's balanced. We need to have other people in our life too. We've also been talking about identity and the fact that in a lot of why we're expanding partnerships, and in a time of dissolving what's toxic, what's keeping us bonded and chained to not being evolved to expand is quite often when we get into partnerships, our counterpart, the person we're sharing our life with, our partner, even though they may say they want us to change and they are supporting our change, quite often our shadow selves or the pieces of ourselves that are not ready to change, if we haven't done the work, are holding on to their partner, to the person they're spending their life with, not fully allowing them to fully embrace their expansion here and expand with life, because in fear of losing their identity within the other person. But we're dissolving that, and we're dissolving that by this work that each twin is doing within their own cup. Each counterpart is doing within their own cup. We're dissolving those codependency and realizing that all of our relationships are just as equally as important. They make us us. This is building that stronger, deeper sense of community too. And we're just going to talk about some really toxic templates for a minute. Prime example, we're just going to use this as an example. You see the template of, the woman that is obsessed with the man, and her children are crying out for her like, Mom, see me, Mom, see me. But she's so obsessed with the man you know, and wanting this man or lack of love, lack of unconditional love within her life, that she is not seeing her kids, she's not seeing her mom, she's not seeing that, you know. And that's just one template. There are many other templates that, you know, we could continue to go forth. This is just an example. Now, then too, now, you know, you have this couple, and, you know, the man wants to go, and he wants to go, and he wants to take a few courses and expand his life. But the woman doesn't want him to go. And I don't even like that I'm using like the woman and man. This almost feels like not quite. But, you know, this is how we share what we're called to share, for whoever can resonate with it to expand off of it. And we're going to use our common sense on our spiritual quest. Common sense is allowed. It's just like, you know, when we say we're facing the death template, that we're not going to go run in traffic just because we are facing the death template to rebirth and face our fear of death here. We are still using common sense. And get back on track, Nicole. Get back on track. So each person is able to let the other person to grow and to do things without feeling like the other person is going to lose their identity if the other person grows. Or what about too, like jealousy? We're healing from jealousy. That's going to hold each other back too. But this is because, and this is why we can really look at our grand design of why we're here, because it is us that's reflected back to us, and the connection to unconditional love, and us, and this whole of this universe, and having this experience like, oh my goodness, I met my twin. I met the other part of me. And what, like, this is where we're gonna let go, because like we need to let go, because like this is the other part of you. We're not gonna hold on to that other part of ourselves, but this is being reflected back to us, so we understand we're not doing this with anything. We're not doing this with life. We are all one. We're having this experience reflected back to us so that we can be better with all of life. That we can be a better person. This has to do with cosmic ordering, divine alchemy. So, and conscious manifesting. And when we get into this next time, I have so much scribed information about how we're expanding with this and what it all means. And believe me, just you wait until we get into this, because our gifts are expanding. And this has to do with we've uncovered our mission, embraced by the light. Don't give up. We've literally uncovered our mission because we've uncovered ourselves. Because when we looked into that cup, the cup that's for us, into me I see. I see me. I see 2. I see 3. I see 3 plus more. I see my connection to everything. And literally when I was having this message, like activating with this message, I literally saw the infinity symbol, the connection to the infinity symbol, the connection to everything. And it has to do with what's in that cup. And we're honoring too that we are in the Garden of Venus, working on what's in our cup. So if you're being put in separation, because that's what we're doing, even if we're together, we're still being put in spaces and places to honor what's in our cup, because we're transmuting pain. We're transmuting pain right now, and we need to see what we need to see. This pain is showing us something. This pain is literally showing us what our heart is saying. And this is about our heart's electromagnetic field and expanding that. We're expanding it with our thoughts, being in alignment with our feelings. Our mind and our heart being in alignment so that we can expand. Not only so that we can expand, but this is how we manifest. This is how we attract what's for us. We're attracting what's for us. So literally, okay, as where do I want to see? They're not looking at each other, but each counterpart is connected to their cup and the connection to their cup, okay? And this is literally what's happening within them, okay? Within their connection to the cup, they are literally seeing all the connections within to their inner, from their inner universe to without, with the light. But the key to this transformation is that we're not looking without to our twin. This isn't codependency. The key to this transformation is we are one. I saw what I need to see. I saw what I need to see. I saw we are one. I saw the light. I have to let go without and trust and have faith that the story of us, we had the story of us is for a reason. And I saw that when I looked into myself, because I recognized that this wish is a wish that I've had since I was a small child. It's part of me. And experiencing this is something I've wished for. It's a part of me. It's part of my story here. And I'm not going to attack it and make fun of it if I've been caught in that. And I feel like this is a specific message. Like if you've been attacking the fact that that this dream is a part of you, then that's healing with this. And this is also too healing with being obsessed with this dream. We can't be obsessed with this dream. That would keep us here. That would keep us here in obsession. We would be bonded to it. Remember, this is free. This is unconditional love. We're honoring that this dream is a part of us, but we're letting it go and being lost in creation, like the wonder of a child, because this is about the restoration to pleasure. And we're really going to get into this because we're healing with a lot of stuff right now, and even too with what has happened, in if you've been a part of twin flame communities, and even just getting caught in a twin, like you get caught in it becomes your identity, but we're healing from it being our whole identity. We're healing with us. Remember, our twin is not separate from us. We're having that epiphany right now. We're seeing the light, and we're going to break this down further, because what has happened is we've seen the connection between the cup of lust and the cup of love. And that it's all love. And this was a sacred experience. That this experience that we've had is a sacred experience, and we heal with the cup of lust. This is becoming whole. And this is that, this is that being able to embody, being able to heal with the communities, heal with our loved ones, heal with people. Because as we heal from being codependent, because we know that we're expanding partnerships, that's the work that we came here to do. We came here to expand partnerships and to dissolve what's not working. As we talked about, we're dissolving codependency, so that we can see that our relationships are equally as important. We're dissolving, being able to not let people to expand, so we don't lose our identity. But it's also to being able to see our connection to everything, to all of life. And when we heal with this cup, we're healing with a part of ourselves, because this cup is a part of us, and this cup is a part of this world. And this is that, that template you'll see, like, you're not welcome in church if you're a drug addict, a prostitute, or you're a sinner. No, this is you're welcome here. This is unconditional love. I've met myself with unconditional love. I can meet you with unconditional love. We're all one. This is really embodiment of what it means here to truly elevate from the lower to the upper, and to truly heal with others, and to hold space for them. But this is the thing, we hold space for them. This is different. We're not jumping into their pits of, you know, this lower vibrational hell that they're in. We're holding space for them with unconditional love. We're not judging them with the mind. We're not judging them with the mind. I'm not better than you. I understand because I'm a part of this too. I'm a part of this too. But I've seen the light literally because I went within myself and saw what I needed to see. And that's what this pain is literally showing us. This pain is literally asking us to go within and to see what we need to see and to understand that we've lost our way. That we lost our way, but we accept that we were always supposed to lose our way. It was part of the quest. It was part of the story of us. It's part of the path. So we lose our way in order for us to see that we have fallen back asleep. This is the card of fallen angels, spiritual narcolepsy, and we got this activation to find out how we got here. So we honor that we're having this experience with the cup of lust. Remember, the lowest of the lows, in order to create with the highest of the highs. And to expand through the center point, our heart. Our heart. But first we have to go home to it. We have to go home to our heart. And that's what we've been called to do. That's literally what we've been called to do. We've been called to go home to our hearts and expand. And what are we expanding? We're expanding unconditional love. But we have to believe and have faith in order to do so. And right now, this has to do with what we saw when we looked into ourselves. We looked into ourselves. And we looked into ourselves because we are connected to this dream. And the patterns that we experienced through intimacy with another allowed us to see love. Unconditional love. We had an experience of unconditional love through our connection to this dream and creating it. And now we've been put in, you know, places where we're feeling separate in the Garden of Venus in order to grow our connection with our heart's electromagnetic field and trust that the bridge of the land of the in-between is being built with the divine. But we're not worrying about this, and we're going to get into this further. We're not worrying about this bridge being built because we're so lost at this point in our expansion by being in creation with the divine. Because remember, we're restoring pleasure. That's why we're feeling pain. We're feeling pain because we are restoring. We're feeling pain. Get it straight. We're feeling pain because we're restoring this space and place. But we're restoring this because we're untwisting what's happening with these cups. But we're seeing that they're connected. And remember, this was a sacred experience. This was part of the dream. This is part of the plan. And our sadness, the sadness that we are experiencing with this transformation is going to levitate with us. Now, we're going to get into this further when we expand off this, because like I said, I have all this scribed information. I want to expand off this further. We might even change formats and go back to an old school way of sharing messages here so we can share this whole message. We're gonna have to figure this out, guys. This is a big message. Now remember, this has to do with the connection. Like, remember, when we look into the cup, we're seeing the light reflected back to us. We're seeing this is a shape of unconditional love between. Remember, on the second day of creation, here was the mirror image that was created. And when the mirror image was created, the octahedron, the shape of the octahedron is created within the center. And that is our connection to unconditional love. And what it means to truly be a counterpart here and have, you know, yearning for this experience because it's part of unconditional love. This dream is part of us, but we're healing with it. Remember, we're not being obsessed with this dream anymore. We're healing with the fact that this dream is a part of us, and we're co-creating this dream anew. From a nightmare to a dream. We've had an experience or some experiences where it didn't work out. That was in order to get us here. From a nightmare to a dream. Now we've woken up within this nightmare to a dream. And, you know, we woke within the dream. It was a nightmare. We woke. It's a dream. And now we're waking within this dream. And we're really stepping into this new place of co-creation. And it has to do with what we're seeing when each counterpart is looking within their cup. The connection to themselves, the connection to each other, the connection to all of life, and this expansion. And we're going to honor that we're seeing how everything is all one, but what our connection to how everything is all one, this has to do with our uniqueness. And we're going to be called to express it. The work that we're doing in this cup, we're going to be called to express it. Okay. Emerald Tablet Activation. Cosmic Ordering, Divine Alchemy, Conscious Manifesting. The Emerald Tablet is one of the most celebrated of the Hermetic texts. A series of sacred Egyptian Greek texts from the 2nd century or earlier. They form the basis of Hermeticism. Guys, I know this word. A spiritual tradition that brings together wow, guys, it's because my energy is feeling split, and this is that work we're doing. We're gonna laser focus. We're learning how to laser focus our energy, and it's because I'm feeling called to go somewhere else for a minute, and I'm seeing this now. Remember, we were talking about the reflection between the cups. And that we're literally reconnecting to ourselves and seeing our true state of being reflected back to us. But there's still some sort of distortion between the actual reflection. Because 639 reversed is not quite 963. Now, it looks like it is. There's a connection here, but something still has to be fine-tuned. And that has to do with liberating guilt and fear. And I'm seeing how we're going to get into how the cups are connected and how we're not quite just seeing clearly right now, because we need to liberate ourselves from guilt and fear from the fact that we've seen that these cups are connected and that there's love in both of these cups. And we're going to be breaking that message down further next time we meet up. I see exactly where we're going. So stay tuned, because this has to do with our actual activation of activating with love, and we're finding our rightful place here. Okay, Emerald Tablet Activation. Let's try this again. Cosmic Ordering, Divine Alchemy, Conscious Manifesting. The Emerald Tablet is one of the most celebrated of the Hermetic texts, a series of sacred Egyptian Greek texts from the 2nd century or earlier. They base from Hermeticism, a spiritual tradition that brings together science, and Hermetism, a spiritual tradition that brings together science and spirituality through investigations into the cosmos, mind, and nature. Most of the texts are a series of dialogues between a teacher and a student and are based on the concept of alchemy, the art of turning lead into gold, or something that is laden and heavy into a golden opportunity. This is us. That's what we're doing for ourselves. Like literally within this book, I've literally just channeled for our next message that I see how it's all coming together here is we're literally getting a divine makeover. And it says right here, trust in your divine makeover. And it's talking about how we're going towards the singular mind, and this is how we're meeting up on this bridge. We're meeting up on this bridge because it's of the singular mind. It's not dual. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to get into it. We're going to unpack it. This is about a golden opportunity. And this has to do with the alchemy of us. The Emerald Tablet is said to have been carved on a bright green stone that was transported to Egypt around the fall of Atlantis and stored in the halls of Ameneti. A-M-E-N-T-I, guys. Under the Great Pyramid. Although this legend is widespread, the origin of the text is shrouded in mystery. Now, when I was first having my awakening, I was called towards studying these tablets. And we know that they're made out of a material that, I mean, it's the Emerald Tablets. It's indestructible. We do know that it is made up of 14 passages which first appeared in a book written sometime between the 6th and 8th centuries and has been highly influential. Its most famous statement is "as above, so below," meaning that what is in the highest of heavens is reflected upon on earth. This is connected to Thoth, who is featured in the deck. And I have this deck. You know, we're going to have this deck present next time we meet up because we know there's going to be a message. And I have like 3 different versions of this deck. Can't be school for the fool without all these cards, right? The idea is that he knew of the approaching end of civilization and hid the Emerald Tablet and many other teachings in order to preserve them for spiritual aspirants in the future. Guys, some of these words. So, I'm sure many people have heard the story of the Emerald Tablets. I want them to be indestructible. Maybe I'm thinking of a movie. I don't know, because guys, everything's all coming together as one. And I also believe that we say what we say and we channel what we channel when we're channeling it. This means something. This has to do... Where are we going here? With the light. But I do remember when I was watching about the Emerald Tablets, they're made, what they're made out of, and it's what they're made out of that. I mean, they're Emerald Tablets. Fantasy is becoming reality. More and more is what we're doing here. Okay, so as we're transmuting this pain, we're using it as elevation into happiness. We're literally transmuting it. And it's because of the activation of unconditional love and the emerald tablet. What is this connected to? I'm telling you. I just said all that stuff. I was going over here and I was like, no. And then this flies off, hits this over what I was just looking at. And, you know, this has to do with we're clearing pain. We have the 5 of Cups and the 3 of Swords, okay? And the 5 of Cups was reversed when I grabbed this deck, and the 3 of Swords was upright. Now look, the 5 of Cups reversed, the feminine is holding on to the 2 of Cups. Not letting go. Remember, we need to let go. This is singular. We need to let go of these 2 cups. Okay, remember, each twin, each counterpart has 1 cup. Remember, that's how we're meeting up here. Each have 1 cup. But here in the 5 of Cups, reversed, to untwist it, look, we let go of what we need to let go of, and there's the masculine representation right there. And remember, we're gonna use our sadness to create happiness. And this is about to restore our pleasure centers. We're elevating the matter. We've been talking about this now for some time by the restoration of happiness. So we need this sadness. We need to transmute this pain. We need this sadness. We're not running from this. This is part of it too. This is part of the story of us. This is part of unconditional love. The transmuting of pain into pleasure is part of our happiness and understanding us in this world. So, of course, the Lovers, ecstasy. This is what's being activated right here. Ecstasy, the story of us. Remember, we're honoring why we're here. And this is the story of us. It's part of us. But we're putting it back in the space and place it is. It's not out of balance. We're not, we're not losing our identity in it. We're not losing our identity in it. And it's not our whole entire universe. It's not everything. It's a part of us. It's a part of the whole, right? So we get back to the Ace of Stars with creation. And the Knight of Trees, custodian. Look, we're becoming the custodians of life through this experience. To heal with strength, to heal with force. The force is here, strength. The masculine. And that's what this is all about at the end of the day. When we go within and we, each of us is laser focused on our connection to the cup and what's happening within this cup and our connection to life and expanding with all of life and expanding with source energy within the moment, because we came here to evolve humanity and save life here on this planet and expand it. And this is a universal expansion. All of life is expanding. That when we see, we have to see that we're not manipulating outside forces for our creations. We're not manipulating this. This is happening within a connection to unconditional love and expanding our heart's electromagnetic field. But we're expanding our heart's electromagnetic field with our mind. We need to get our mind in alignment with our heart. It has to do with clearing up this artificial hack, this artificial matrix, laser focusing in the element of air, the mind. And we're going to get further into this. And it's connected to healing from the past. Remember, we have to let go of the past. We're co-creating. We had this experience. This dream was a part of us. All this stuff didn't work out from a nightmare to a dream. But now we're going to step back into our space and understand that this story was a part of us, and we're co-creating anew. But we're co-creating anew with our connection to what's happening within us and our connection to all of life within this cup. And it's connected to the King of Hearts, healer. And this is the King of Cups. And this is really taking us full circle, because it goes back to what was in the cup of lust, the message of what was in the cup of lust. And the cup of lust was the King of Hearts. That was our first connection. 3 cards came out. The King of Hearts, the King of Cups, healer. And this is the masculine connecting to the feminine right here. The Father of Cups with our connection to the cup. And of course, we're connecting to the cup. Let's get that cup. So here. So we got this. We got this representation. Got this represented, right? Let me get it straight, guys. Sorry, my son is right here. And I'm getting a little distracted. Let's not clip her nails right now. Let's just wait and I'll help you out with that after, okay? So, oh, children are funny. I love it. She's distracted. What can I do right now? Oh, but she has eyes everywhere. How did she know that was happening? How did she see me doing that? I love it. I used to wonder how my mom could know all this stuff she knows. Now I know. Okay, so we're seeing how the cup of lust and how the cup of expanding here with spirits is connected. And we got the message that this is sacred lust. This is a connection, right? That we're honoring. That is sacred. It's of us. And it's allowing us to see our connection to everything. We're not putting ourselves on a pedestal. We're not better than anyone. It's not like, hey, I, did all this work, so I'm better than you. This ain't that. And how do you even know what I did last night? Were you there when I was reading my book? This isn't that. This is, I'm going to hold space for you. Okay? I'm going to hold space for you to live your best life. And you're going to hold space for me to live our best life. And we're going to come together and create and live our best lives anew. Okay? So we're seeing the connection to this cup, the connection to everything, to all of life. So we can heal with all of life and our place within all of life and create anew. We're co-creating anew. We're going to have to learn how to let some stuff go. So we're seeing in this cup our connection to the Father of Cups, our insecurities. But we're also seeing the feminine. And then the next card out was actually the Daughter of Cups. Now look at that. There's a reflection of the actual light within the cup. Now this is our connection to our creative life force energy. There is our creative life force energy with the Daughter of Cups. And this has to do with love. And this has to do with being able to expand with love. And these Canadian geese mate for life. Okay? And there's a message within this card for us. So union, desire, joy. 2 Canadian geese are mates for life, traveling partners within an expansive sky. The Lovers is a welcome sight in any reading, as it suggests a beautiful and strong relationship is on the horizon. Yes, you'll experience all the thrills of desire and romance, but meanwhile, you will be building a solid foundation together. The lovers honor and respect each other. And with that, they can go anywhere. If you're already in a relationship, it's time to be grateful and nourish this rare and precious gem. But do you see the keywords here are respect? And we're not fully respecting ourselves because we are feeling some sort of guilt and shame. with our connection from going to, you know, with both of these cups. We're feeling guilt and shame because of this. Because we are literally seeing the elevation. But this is the key. We have to see that there's love within this cup, and our connection to love within this cup, and creation, and our connection to the feminine and the masculine, and expanding with the cups and going from sadness to happiness. But we have to liberate ourselves first, and that's why that's what we're not quite seeing clearly yet, but we're seeing it now. We have to liberate ourselves and see that it's all one. And there's a healing with this world. Like, we're literally seeing that it's all one. And we're going to talk about this further next time we meet up. Until then, you know I am sending it to you, those good healing vibes for creation. I love you. Take care. Until then.